The glory belonged to a Bohemian side which rose majestically to the occasion. Jameson never stopped running, and it was this hunger for the ball which saw Bohemians to a famous victory. Jubilation then for David Rocky O'Brien and Gino Lawless, goal-scoring heroes on a night when the entire Bohemians team was outstanding.
Amidst the weeds and damp grit of the barren Connaught Street terrace, on soporific teenage Sunday afternoons, my red and black scarf knotted just so above a Harrington jacket, with a blockily defiant biro written Bohs inscribed on my mustard-coloured canvas school bag. I strain to hear the tin pot tannoy screech as the teams are announced. And if Jackie Jamison's name isn't called, I stand staring in stunned disappointment at fat globules of rain that swell and drip from the rusting red metal crush barriers onto the crumbling concrete steps below, and I wonder, what the hell am I doing wasting my youth in this god-forsaken kip? He remains forever my footballing hero, Jackie, an unlikely looking player who seems older than the others, balding, stooped and slightly gaunt, like a school teacher among students, with a mildly disinterested, vaguely melancholic air. But when he turns it on, the tiny crowd comes alive, and we marvel at how lucky we are to see this erratic genius in the flesh. And as he insouciantly skips past forlorn defences with a grace that electrifies our cynical souls, we laugh and jump joyously, roaring, "Blind him with science, Jackie, and take that, yous filthy fuckers!" While chain-smoking old men, quite possibly on day release, pace up and down in paroxysms of anxiety, holding small radios to their ears, keeping us updated on developments with our counterparts and rivals at the showgrounds in Sligo, St Mel's and Athlone, Kilcohen Park and Waterford, from Cork, Drogheda, Dundalk and Ballybofey, and most especially from Milltown, where our mortal enemies Shamrock Rovers ply their appalling trade. At half-time, I burn my mouth and fingers on boiling bovril from a white polystyrene cup, and I treat myself to a fruit and nut from a woman who trades from a pram covered with a board by the grey cemented wall on which a graffiti-like gent sign is scrawled in dirty white paint, although in truth the smell alone probably provides all the direction that is required in that regard. And then, appropriately fed, I pass beneath the old school floodlight pylons, through the sweet smoky herbal smells emanating from the small crowd huddled in the dark under the corrugated shed behind the goal, where generations of North Dublin's finest boot boys, rockers, ravers, casuals, schooligans, boo boys, mods, and staunch old school skinheads from Cowtown and Cabra and Finglas chant and scream batshit crazy, spittle-flecked obscenities that could have you sectioned or arrested in any other place, but are almost mandatory here. And then I sneak into the old wooden stand that smells of carols and major and has a bar underneath from where I purchased my first indoor alcoholic drinks, which, in deference to our sponsor, are dusty large pint bottles of Bass. But even better perhaps than these Sunday afternoon shenanigans are the evening matches. Lackadaisical summer friendlies when expensive fancy dams that you would know from the telly come over from England, bringing the Barstooler Brigade out in numbers. And League of Ireland fans join forces to cheer lustily as our local part-time hatchet men hero centre-backs kick lumps out of these preening prima donnas, which regardless of the final score we see as a moral victory of sorts. And better still again is the crackling intensity of the big European matches. 3-2 in the 84 Macree. Are the simmering undertones of Dublin city derbies, with Pats or Shells or Rovers. When huge crowds materialise and Lockharts direct traffic in acts of mild extortion that cause punters to arrive late and get stuck in the lane where wide-eyed kids queue with their parents and teenagers throw shapes or flirt or smooch in the darkness amidst the red flares and flinty Dublin banter. And above the laughter and the slagging, you can hear the rolling, belly-rumbling roar of the crowd already inside, until finally you slip through the paint-peeling metal turnstiles and under the now plastic-seated stand, and up to the thrillingly perfect rectangular artificial brightness of the green floodlit pitch, where the misty breath of expectant thousands mingles with hostile chants in the ice-cold evening air. And like sex and comedy or a well-DJ'd dance floor, football is much about tension and release. And there are few things in life to match the orgasmic thunderclap intensity of exploding in volcanic unison with your own crowd at a well-timed crucial goal. And you learn too that even the gloomiest of defeats can be softened with a few post-match pints, or the simple camaraderie that football brings. And these days supporting Bohs has become fashionable, a mark of pride on Twitter bios, with sold-out matches and well-run community initiatives. And it is purposefully gay and female-friendly, with refugees welcome and reasonable toilets. And it genuinely makes my heart sing to see all of this. But sometimes I catch the eye of one of the old crowd amidst the heaving hordes, and we nod and semi-wink. And I feel like saying, we were here before all this. We know the phantasms and ghosts of this old place, the interactions of past and present, the punk gigs and all-night lock-ins, Barry Bohs and Choco and the half-time raffle man. And do you know that I stood right there once, 40 years ago, where you are now, watching Jackie Jamison with my old lad, when both of those fine men were still alive. But this would be a nonsense, because times move on, and my memories are no more valid than anybody else's. And what could be more excruciating than this "I preferred their early stuff" type guff? It is the people's club and football the people's game, and Dalymount is a communal place that should welcome all and belong to none. So I eat my chips and I hold my whisht, while up and coming young fellas, and now the young ones too, join hordes of our fellow brethren singing, "Bohs till I die, I'm Bohs till I die." I know I am, I'm sure I am, I'm Bohs till I die.